Hello and welcome back to Cooking for Two 101. It's fall. Yay! You know what that means, right? Apples. It's apple season. We are going to make today an apple crisp, and we're going to make it in our Finex because one pan is better than many, many pans. So that's what we're going to work on. So far I have chopped, cored, sliced, peeled, all the stuff you need to do to an apple to make it into an apple crisp. Oh, I always try so hard to get that into one. I failed a little bit this time. Anyway, we're going to use 5 pounds of apples, 5.5, depending on how big your pan is. Ours is 10 inches across at the bottom, 12 inches on the top. And these are Honey Crisp apples. You could use Galas, you could use Granny Smiths, you could use whatever apples you happen to have. Just give them a taste when you're cutting them. If they're already nice and sweet, then just add the amount of sugar that's in this recipe. If they're a little tart, you might want to add a little bit more. Okay, we're going to cut these up, throw them in this bowl, and first thing that we're going to do is create the apple slurry, I guess you could say, that builds the density in the sauce that goes around the apples while it's cooking. To do that, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. That's for flavor, but also to keep them from browning. This is 1/3 of a cup of white sugar. Sprinkle that over. And this is 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Cornstarch is actually what's going to create the thickening agent while this is baking in the oven. And a little bit of seasoning. I have here a teaspoon of cinnamon and a pinch of allspice and just a hint of nutmeg. Not too much nutmeg because that stuff goes a long way. All right, I'm just going to mix this, toss it about with my hands just to make sure everything gets coated. I'm going to clean up a bit, and when we come back, we'll move on. Okay, our apples are ready to go. I confess we tried some. They're delicious, so maybe make a few more because once you try one, you're not going to stop eating them. All right, so I have my oven set to 350 degrees, and I do have my cast iron skillet in there. Your cast iron skillet wants to heat up slowly. That's why I like to start it off in the oven. We don't want any cracks developing or anything like that. Okay, next we're going to make the glaze to go on the apples. We're going to start by turning our cast iron skillet on about medium, and we're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to let that start melting, which should happen pretty quick because my pan is already hot. Also, remember what I told you about putting something over the handle when it's hot, because it's automatic instinct to hold that, and you don't want to do it when it's 375 degrees. Oh yeah, there she goes, already melting. We are going to add to that half a cup of brown sugar, and we're just going to cook this down a little bit till the sugar and the butter combines together and makes kind of a syrup, which will take a couple minutes, so we'll be right back. Okay, so you know you're good to go when it starts to foam up and bubble. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what you're looking for. That's going to coat your apples beautifully. All right, so we're going to turn this down just a little, maybe about medium, and we're going to add our apples in. And here's the tricky part, making sure you have a big enough pan to get all these beautiful apples in. Oh, I think it's perfect. Oh, I'm so excited. So as these cook, they will release some juices, and they'll give us a little bit more room for the filling or the topping that's coming next. So basically, you're just going to toss your apples in the brown sugar mixture and let it cook away. We're going to give it about 5 minutes doing this, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to make the topping. Okay, so it's been about 8 minutes. But you can see that the sauce is thickening, and you can draw a spoon on the bottom of the pan and it makes a line. That means you're good to go. So what we're going to work on real quick is the topping, because that's the best part. So in a separate bowl, we are going to add a cup of flour, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons of white sugar. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a little pinch of allspice, and about a half a teaspoon of salt. And we are going to stir these to combine, get all the seasonings and the brown sugar broken up into there. And next is the fun part. It's the oats. You want to make sure that you pick old-fashioned oats. You don't want quick oats. You don't want steel cut oats. You want old-fashioned oats. If you get quick cooking ones, it turns to mush, and that's not what we're making. We're not making apple mush. We're making apple crisp. Okay, that's combined. Yay, team. Next, we're going to add 8 tablespoons, or a whole stick of butter, actually, that has been melted, and we just popped it into the microwave. We're going to add it to this mixture and stir it together to make kind of a paste, I guess you could say. Yes, there are lots of recipes where you use cold butter and you mix it in with your fingers, and those are great recipes. You know, go to town if that's the way you want to do it, but I'll be honest, this is so much easier. And it's all going to go in the oven anyway, so why not take the easy route? All right. Ooh, these are cooking away. I'm going to turn these off right now because I think those are hot enough. Also, my oven is on 375 degrees. And when we are done, we're going to pop this in there and cook it for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Okay, next we're adding 1 cup of those oats and a half a cup of chopped up pecans. Yeah. We're just going to combine this. It's going to be really thick. You could use your hands if you want to, but it's not necessary. It actually really comes together quite quickly, because all you're going to do is sprinkle it on top. It's not like it has to be perfectly combined, because all the good stuff's already in there, in the butter. That's why we did it first. Okay, level your apples out a little bit so that it's nice and even. And put your yummy topping on with your hands, just like that. Sprinkle it about. Oh, man down. All right, I'm going to get this all in here, clean up a bit, and I'll be right back. All right, look at how beautiful it is. It hasn't even cooked yet. I'm so excited. All right, so I'm going to put it in the oven, like I said, at 375 degrees for about 30 minutes. But you do want to keep checking on it. That Finex holds its heat, so it doesn't have to start from scratch at this point. All right, we're going to check on it in 20. If it's ready to go, we'll be back then. See you soon. Okay, so we did check it at 20 minutes, but it wasn't ready. So it's been 30 minutes now, and we're going to give it a peek. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, look it. Okay, so it is very bubbly around the edge, which is what you want to see, but I don't see enough crispiness on the top. So I'm going to put this back in on the top shelf, and I'm going to broil it for about 2 minutes. When you broil something like this that you worked so hard on, don't walk away from it. Pay attention. All right, broil 2 minutes. We'll be right back. Okay, there she is. She's a beaut. Oh my gosh, it smells so amazing. I'm so excited. Also, that's a ridiculously heavy situation. So I'm going to let it rest now for a little bit. I'm going to take my ice cream out of the freezer, let it come to room temperature. So when I scoop up the portion, the ice cream will be ready too. All right, don't forget to turn off your oven because it's ridiculously hot right now. We'll be back in a minute. Well, that felt like forever, but it is finally cool enough for me to try. If you're going to take this, let's say to an event or a party, the cast iron skillet is a perfect vehicle because you can just take it right in here and it stays warm. You could drive from here to, I don't know, Maine, still be warm. So warm. What a beautiful pan. Keeps everything warm. Okay, look at that. It's still steaming. It's probably been 20 minutes. I don't know if you can see that, but yay. I am going to serve this to myself with a scoop of Tillamook ice cream, because who doesn't want vanilla ice cream on that? All right, let's give it a shot. It's still really hot. I waited so long. Okay. Mmm. Mmm. The bottom caramely bits that we did at the beginning have such a strong caramel flavor. It's delicious. The apples are perfectly cooked. The crunchy oatmeal on the top and the crispy bits from when we put it under the broiler are amazing, give it great texture. It's sweet enough. A little bit of warm cinnamon in the background. It's just delicious. It's perfect. You should totally make this. It's amazing. Okay, thanks for watching Cooking for Two 101. If you're new, please subscribe, share with your friends. We'll see you soon.